Cowboys. Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to watch a clip from the AFC North Roundtable powered by BetUS. BetUS is currently matching 150% of your first deposit as long as you go to their website and type in code YouTube150 while signing up. And they are also matching 125% of your second and your third deposit. So all of the lines are currently up for week 5. I highly recommend you take advantage of this amazing promo. And without further ado, enjoy the clip. Moving on. I feel like I want to save the Ravens and the Bengals for the final prediction, especially since we have both panelists on this show. So
Is
I'm going
that
to
a
start
big
off.
game? Is that a big game,
It's
man?
a classic loading.
It's the
I'm
classic
going
loading.
to start off, and I'm going to start off with our good friend Chef Zay, who is going off against the Washington Commanders. We've heard some teases already about this, but I want to hear your full explanation, your analysis, your prediction, your preview. Go off.
I need one thing and one thing only: a win. I don't give a damn how you get it. I don't give a damn how scrappy it is. I don't care how sloppy it looks. At this point, we're in desperation mode, and that's just what it is. It was hard to sit here and try to find some positives to run with, especially when you're sitting 1-3. Zim, I know you're probably feeling the same way. Although you have a better, you have a better grasp to be more optimistic the way your offense looks compared to mine. But saying that still, I saw a lot of good things out of Deshaun Watson, and that's the one position that you need in order to make things happen. Myles Garrett is still playing out of his mind despite not having any feet right now. I still have confidence in our defense despite seeing flashes of them looking like Joe Woods was leading the way. We couldn't tackle the ocean if it was in our face. It was so I don't get it, bro. It was unbelievable how bad it was. But I still have faith in our guys and our defense. And it's gonna be a great test to see what Jim Schwartz can do to get Daniels, flustered. He is a rookie when it's all said and done, despite how fantastic he's playing. So maybe Jim Schwartz can find something in his bag to get him uncomfortable, and we can, find a way to get a lead. Because if we can't get a lead to start this game out, it's going to be tough sledding. So they better run the ball, establish it early, and get David and Njoku involved early because it's looking like he's going to be back as well this week too. So get the win however you get it. I don't care.
And so what's the final score prediction?
I don't have one for you, brother. I don't know. A win, bro. Whatever the win is, I don't care how it is. It can be 3-0, bro. Like it can be 2-0. Just win the game. I haven't even thought about a prediction of a score right now because right now I'm still mourning. It's Wednesday at 6:45, and I still can't stomach the fact that I'm sitting here talking about this.
I feel like Grumpy Zay is, because I like you as a person. I'm like, damn, man, get this guy a win. But then I'm also like, I need to get a glass for those tears, and we're gonna take.
We ain't crying yet. Trust me, you'll know when we start crying.
Tears next week on this show. That's what I'm really looking for.
I can't wait to see when y'all lose to the Ravens and you sitting here 1-4 and you try to find out. All right, can we see Burton now, please? He gonna save our season.
Burton will be your number 2 wide receiver.
All right. So Zim, thoughts on this matchup between the Browns and the Commanders? Final score prediction.
I think Commanders in this game. I think what Watson's doing is admirable, but I feel like when people do that, they're coddling the situation. We're watching the Justin Fields, we're watching the Jayden Daniels 2-3 games into their NFL, like starting, whatever, and they're showing you what time it is. And we're here like, what is this, year 3 and shit? And we're still talking about like, oh yeah, I think Watson's got the trajectory going up or whatever. Like when Joe Burrow had the worst offensive line in football, he went to a bowl. So it's like, I don't really care about your offensive line being bad. That's not getting solved overnight. And I think that you're going against a team that has a really good offense. Now, can he put up points with them? I do think so. I do think this game is probably closer than what you think. But I'm telling you, this guy is playing like a top 3 quarterback in the National Football League right now. And this is not a game to get back game or whatever in my mind. And my only loss this past week, if you guys have been following my picks, was the damn Ravens game or whatever. I picked the Bills in that game or whatever, and I said it would be a close game. So I think I'm gonna hit on this Commanders one. I hit on the Browns one last week, so I'm gonna hit on this Commanders one. I think the score is 31-20.
31-20. All right, Mr. Bubba, what you got?
Wow, I'm taking the Commanders also, not because of just they've been playing good ball, and it's probably going to be a shootout. and maybe who scores last, but it's probably going to be the Commanders. I'm sorry, Chef, but Washington's playing for real too. I mean, they're a little scary, and we see them in a couple weeks, about a month from now, and we haven't played them good lately. And with Daniels at quarterback, I'm a little, I'm a little worried, a little trepidatious here going into that game. But I just, I don't think Myles Garrett's going to be all that in a bag of chips. So I know. But it'll be a shootout, and I think the Commanders will, score. It'll be a squeaker. It'll be a heartbreaker, I believe, too. That's probably what's going to happen.
Did y'all know that the Commanders have only punted 4 times the whole entire season? Ain't that a stat for you,
That
James?
was like the first week, right? Wow. That was like the first week, isn't it?
No, I'm just saying, like, yeah, I mean,
They've been punted the past 2 weeks. It's been crazy or something like
So his
that.
defense is not doing him any favors either.
I'm sorry.
Did they punt last week? I thought it was like 2 weeks in a row they didn't punt or something like that.
They didn't punt before the week when they played us against the Giants, and then they didn't punt against us. We didn't punt either.
Yeah, that's what.
But then this past week they scored 2 touchdowns. Then I think they finally punted. They've only punted 4 times on the whole season.
I'm excited. It's going to be a great test for our defense. No, I am though, because it's still because there's been a lot of questions surrounding our defense, and while we've had a couple of questions, and while rightfully so, Martin Emerson, whoever you want to point out, it's a great test to see if we really about that life, because no one really respects the fact that we still have the same defense that we did last year. We just aren't off to the start like what we want. So hell yeah, I'm excited to see if we can change the narrative.
So what you got on this, Bobby?
I think they're going to pass the test, Zay. I'm going to deviate from the other 2 panelists. I think they're going to pass the test. Look, Washington's been on a heater. We all know that. That punt stat is absurd. And Cliff Kingsbury's got them freaking buzzing. Jaden Daniels, they're setting him up for success. It's awesome to see a guy like Terry McLaurin finally, after playing with how many quarterbacks over the course of like the last 5+ years, actually get his due. But I think Schwartzy's going to have something ready for him. And Jaden is still a rookie, and he hasn't had a true rookie moment yet. I'm not sure that rookie moment's going to come on Sunday. I think Cleveland finds a way. Deshaun continues to stack games. They run the football effectively. 23-20. I got them winning.
Got it. Interesting. And moving on, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys. And the Dallas Cowboys clearly do not look like the normal regular season Dallas Cowboys. Well, normally they start off a hell of a lot hotter, but there's some issues over in Dallas. Thoughts on the Pittsburgh Steelers versus this struggling team, Bubba? What you got?
I'm glad that they're coming into town Sunday night. It's all right. Collinsworth will be calling it. I'm kind of happy. Hopefully we can get our running. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan of Chicken Neck Collinsworth. But anyway, I mean, look, we got to bounce back. I know Parsons is injured, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because my problem is I only focus on the Pittsburgh Steelers, so it's very hard for me to, until it's game time where I do my show, that I'm looking at the other teams, because Dak Prescott's not worth the money that they're paying him. I mean, Jerry Jones, just like Bob Nutting of the Pirates. I mean, they should probably sell both teams, but hopefully no turnovers, playing at home. It's not going to be a high scoring game. But I do like the offense out there for 8 minutes, a couple drives, and getting 17 points or 21 points or 24. Look, the Steelers offense is not high scoring. It's not going to be. It shouldn't have to be with our defense playing the way it should have been last Sunday. 23-24 with that defense, we should be pretty much a winner in every game. Hopefully, until we got to play the guys that have the high-powered offense, and we have to stop them to compete. But Dallas does not have a high-powered offense. Maybe, Lamb. Hopefully Porter doesn't have like a couple pass interference calls and shuts him down. But I'm taking Pittsburgh all the way. It's a good game to bounce back from. It's Sunday night. The Steelers play good on Sunday night, and it's America's team is in Western Pennsylvania. That's all I got.
So what you got to say about that, Bobby? The Steelers and the Cowboys.
Western PA, huh? Is that where America's team's at?
That's where America's team's
City?
at, Bobby.
The Steel City.
An hour north from it.
I went and visited Duquesne as a senior in college, and
Nice.
ended up taking the official visit and said, I'm off to Baltimore instead. Why? There we have it. So what am I thinking about this one? God, I mean, all I'm thinking about is what I watched a couple weeks ago in Dallas when the Ravens gashed the Cowboys defensive front. I mean, literally, I watched the QB school after. JT O'Sullivan was breaking down like guys like that were just abandoning their run fits, and just there were so many different holes. The Ravens literally ran for 274 rushing yards against them. So like part of me really wants to pick the Steelers because I just think like that's the direction in which you head to beat Dallas. But Dallas is teetering right now. And this is a home primetime game, correct? This is in Dallas
Yeah.
at Jerry's World, you said?
No, it's at home at Pittsburgh.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is home at Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Ooh. My momentum's killed there a little
Yep.
bit.
Renegade will be
changes
playing
so
third quarter.
much.
I had a little momentum moving there.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay. Oh God. Is Dallas really going to be a wash this season? I really hadn't thought about this game as much, but now that it's at home, I can't forget what I watched on that 425 Fox game and the way the Ravens ran. I'm not saying the Steelers are equal to the Ravens in terms of rushing attacks,
Right.
but the formula is clear. And until Dallas proves that they can stop the run effectively, and granted, the Giants only had what 100. They didn't even get 100 yards on them, did they? Matter of fact, look at this: 26 rushing yards on that Thursday night game. The Giants offense had on Dallas. So anyway, I'll go Steelers strictly due to the Najee Harris effect and the fact that it's a home game. How about 2017?
20-17. So what about you, Chef Say? What do you got?
I think you guys know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I'm projecting all my work, all my negativity on y'all. I hope Dallas do exactly what they did to us. Like you, Bobby, you got flashes of that. I got different flashes over here, brother. Okay, it was a rough week one. You know what I mean? So, but no, like you said, it's tough to sit here and look at Dallas and be like, dang, are they really gonna go down this path right now? Especially after all the money that they just spent. The one thing that sways me to want to say the Steelers, even though I'm not going to, is the fact that it's an 8:20 game at home on a Sunday night. Primetime Steelers is a Steeler team you don't want to see on primetime.
Yeah.
It more than likely is going to be a low-scoring game despite CeeDee Lamb and Dak or whatever the case may be, because when those lights go on and it's nighttime, whatever the black and yellow, whatever you want to say about it, I like the 20-17 score. I just don't see Dallas going down this path right now. So give me Dallas with the 20-17 as well.
So what about you, Zim?
This one's tough. Yeah, this is one of the toughest ones I think we've had to kind of
See, we're all kind of teetering on it, right?
This one's tough.
I'm just a typical Yenzer. I can't help it. So, you know, that's how it goes.
Steelers been, I think they're like 10th in the NFL, averaging 128 yards rushing a game. I do think about that. How many yards did Dak throw on you, though, Bob? How was that, like 400 yards?
500.
400.
Wasn't it?
400, 379, 380.
Something crazy.
And CeeDee Lamb had a bad day. I don't know, man. I think that the utilization of Ferguson in that game, I think the Micah Parsons one is major because you can line them up anywhere. And I do believe in that portion. I do think that Dak, though, in those zoos, they do air it out sometimes. And no win, lose, or draw, they're going to put up some numbers. And I can see if TJ Watt is not getting home, I like Herbig and I like those guys. That's a tough game, bro. I'm gonna go 2019 in favor of the Cowboys.
Do it.
I gotta go Cowboys. I mean, I guess that's just for my hate for the Steelers, but I'm not surprised. I'm not confident in that pick. But I will say 2019 though. I think there's some things rushing wise that the Steelers can exploit. I think the style of Najee, that patient running, doesn't really mesh well with the young offensive line. And that's why a guy like Cordell comes in and it's just like boom, boom. Like, you know, yeah, 2019. I'm going Cowboys.
Well, it's a shame, Zim, that it takes Najee till the fourth quarter to warm up. It's like once the fourth quarter is coming, he's warming up. But I like to see him warm up in the first quarter. So hopefully this game he can do that.
Shout out to our good friend Jeffa, saying that Devontae Adams is to the Ravens. He's trying to manifest that. He's trying to manifest another weapon there for Lamar. Folks, this is a crazy episode. 658 of you in here in total. 333 of you on YouTube, 325 of you on X. This is absolutely awesome, guys. Do us a favor, smash that like button. It propels it out to the YouTube algorithm where more AFC North fans can discover the show, and subscribe and turn on bell notifications. We are live each and every single Wednesday, same time, same place, and you don't want to miss out on the action. As we move into the event of the evening, the topic of the show, the Baltimore Ravens are facing off against the Cincinnati Bengals, an AFC North divisional showdown. And man, I am looking forward to hearing this analysis. I'm going to start off with Bobby here. Bobby, initial thoughts. What do you got for this game? Let's hear it.
Initial thoughts are that the Ravens are clicking on all cylinders right now. I've been burnt twice already this year through 4 weeks picking against them. I was also with you, Zim. Surprisingly, I picked the Bills, and we were both embarrassed. That was not a close game. I did pick the Bills, and here's why.
We went into that game. Yeah.
Here's why. I mean, coming off the Dallas week with just an utter collapse of epic proportions, almost just a ridiculous collapse, like historically. They hung on and obviously beat Dallas. I'm thinking about the fourth quarter trend. I'm thinking about some of the changes up and down the offensive line. And I'm thinking about how hot the Buffalo Bills were. And granted, it was like a one-score game. Like, I think I had 28-27 Buffalo. But for Baltimore to come out and pound the rock, bully ball from start to finish, get a defensive turnover that halted all of the Bills' momentum, it just gives me this sort of surefire confidence for the next stretch of weeks. By no means do I think Sunday is going to be a blowout. They aren't typically in the Burrow-Lamar era when both are active and playing each other. So, look, until a team decides that we're taking, like I said earlier on, we're taking Derek out of this formula, and we're going to require the Ravens to show that they can win games, and they've proven before. But this year they have not yet, that outside of Derek, we can win games through the air. And so until a team shows me that on the opposing end, I got to go with Baltimore. And so I'll go 30-28 Ravens with a road victory in Cincy.
So what you got, Zim?
This is a tough one. All right. So I will say this. I've been very, very consistent with I don't really do the injury talk stuff until guys are actually coming back. I think the Bengals had 6 defensive linemen out. I haven't really talked about it on the show. They got a bunch of those guys coming back, and I feel better about that. Throughout the season, I think a lot of people haven't talked about the Bengals pass defense going into that Commanders game was the second best in the NFL. Currently, right now, they stand at the 11th best, giving up 181 yards per game. The one thing I can say, if you go look at the numbers on anything on Joe Burrow right now in the AFC conference, it's top 1, top 2, completion percentage, quarterback rating, touchdowns, whatever category you want. Generally, early in the season, he's not really playing at a high level like that. I feel like that's what people were thinking from the Bills. I just don't think the Bills had the weaponry to do it. We don't really get that many matchups between the Bengals and Ravens where guys are healthy. Like, we could go through both sides. You'll be like, yeah, we won this game. I'll be like, yeah, T. Higgins and DJ Reader didn't play, or, you know what I'm saying? I feel really good that both teams, and I am happy that both teams have like healthy rosters for the most part, and we're getting a gang of guys back. Trey Hendrickson is coming back after he was hurt in the game this past week. He practiced early. And I think a lot is made about the Bengals' run defense, which I think it's not really amazing. I thought they looked good at times in the Chiefs game. I thought they looked good at times in the Patriots game. And I thought that they gave Pat Mahomes the worst NFL game he's ever had passing. So when I go into this game, I'm thinking I have to sell out to the run. It's not that I don't believe that Lamar is not capable of throwing the football. 100% he could throw the football all over the field. But if the Bengals are going to win this game, they have to get him in second and third and long and distance and be able to force him to throw to the outside hashes. I do this thing on playback where we watch all 22. We were watching like how we played Joe Burrow in his last series where he hurt his wrist and everything like that. Everything in what the Bengals do is setting up for, I think Burrow understands how to throw on the Ravens. Well, can he do it? I don't know. Josh Allen found out the hard way, it's very tough because the pressure, you don't know when they're coming or not. And to me, I guess that's the long version of everything, but I do think that this game represents two different sides. I think the Ravens currently right now have the 29th best pass defense in the NFL. And a lot of people will say, well, they got that because the Cowboys in garbage time. But the Bengals played the Chiefs and they didn't give up passing yards or anything like that. And the Bengals played these teams and they didn't give up passing yards like that. So your numbers are what they are. And Joe Burrow playing at the level that he's playing right now, and then Derrick Henry playing at the level that he's playing at, I just think it's one of those things where you're going to have 7 possessions, you can't punt, and field goals ain't going to cut it. I got the Bengals in this game, 27-24. If you look at BetUS, over under is 51. It sets up for that. I think a lot of people are making a big deal out of the Bengals run defense and the guys that weren't there and the guys that are coming back.
Very interesting. And so what about you, Chef Zay?
Ravens win since he's going to be in piss with Cleveland. No, I'm just kidding. I'm definitely going Ravens, but I think I want an instant classic. I want the score to be 33-31.
Wait, you want a what?
I want an instant classic. All right. I want Zim's. If anything, Zim can come on here while he's in piss with us and be like, hey, at least we got an instant classic out of it, right? And we can stroke that ego. But no, I think both teams are playing sound offensively. They're putting up points, and it feels like one of those games where we're gonna find out if the real Justin Tucker is gonna stand up, because if my score prediction is gonna be correctly, it's gonna be at the foot of him. Honestly, he's gonna be a game winner to kick it off after an instant classic where you see a lot of high scoring points. You're gonna see Joe Burrow be Joe Burrow. You're gonna see Lamar be Superman. You're gonna see Derrick Henry. It should be one of these games at 1:00 where we're looking at, dang, they should have flexed this to the 4 or the 8 p.m. slot game because of how good it's gonna be. Honestly, I could see the Bengals pulling it out too. I'm just gonna be a hater in this moment and kick a team while they're down, because that's what they're doing to us. So come join the piss excellence of piss with us, Cincinnati, and I'm going 33-31 Ravens.
If you go for us, though, you have a better chance of catching up.
I don't care about that right now.
You want the Ravens to just run away with
They're not 2-3. We're still right, because if we handle business at 2-3, they're 2-3. We're 2-3. Or they're 3-2. We're 2-3. It's one game behind.
Sean, $230 million. Your business has been over.
Listen, don't worry about my.
We
talking about the Bengals. Don't worry about my optimism towards my team. We pissing on the Bengals right now, okay? And take this loss at the foot of Justin Tucker, and we'll see you next week.
And so, what's your prediction, Bubba? Talk to me.
33-31.
Well, I was hoping that the Bills beat the Ravens last week, and I want a lot of distance between the Ravens in any week that I possibly can get. I think they're probably going to run all over Cincinnati, but I think Cincinnati is probably going to put on a lot of points. Everybody said this probably could be one of the games of the week. And this is crazy, and I know, but 31-31 tie.
Come on. You for real?
It's a tie.
I mean, it ain't gonna happen. But you know what? In God's perfect world, that would be great for me. That's what I was thinking.
I feel like you're hedging your bet.
Bubba, that's a fill-in sin right there.
I
know. Is a fill-in sin.
Wow. It is
yeah, because I'm just
30.
looking at the divisional race, and that's what I'm looking at. And I hope in some divisional competitions this year, one of these 3 tie, and this could be the game because it's going to be a shootout. So whoever scores last could tie it up. That's crazy. I know people. But
thank you so much for tuning in to yet another episode, folks, powered by BetUS. Make sure you like and subscribe so you never miss a live episode.